There's one moment, one decision, that separates the free from the manipulated. Most people never make it. They stay stuck, controlled by guilt, fear, and the opinions of toxic people. But you're about to do something different. If you do this once, they will never control you again. Not their words, not their games, not their guilt. This isn't just motivation. It's a system, a mindset. Built from ancient wisdom, and battle-tested in real life. Toxic people don't come into your life by accident. They come as tests. Tests of your self-worth. Tests of your boundaries. Tests of your energy. You don't remove toxic people by fighting them. You remove them by upgrading your standards. Your time is sacred. So is your attention. Protect them like your life depends on it, because it does. Ever notice how toxic people hate when you start to change? Because your healing exposes their dysfunction. Your peace threatens their chaos. You don't need revenge. You need distance. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The more you heal, the more you'll outgrow people. You'll stop texting first. You'll stop explaining yourself. You'll stop showing up where you're not respected. Let them call you cold. Let them say you've changed. Let them miss the old version of you. Because you do too. But you're not going back. The moment you realize your peace is more valuable than being liked, you win. Some people will only love you when you're silent, small, and self-sacrificing. But you weren't born to shrink. You were born to expand. Stand tall. Move in silence. Cut off the noise. And when they ask why you're distant, just smile. You did this once. And they never bothered you again. You're not here to chase approval. You're here to stand in truth, walk in purpose, and protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Imagine your mind like a garden. If you allow weeds, doubt, fear, drama, to grow unchecked, it will choke your potential. But if you tend to it daily, carefully, with intention, only good things will grow. The next time someone tries to pull you into a war that isn't yours, just smile. Breathe. And walk away with dignity. You owe no one an explanation for guarding your soul. Here's what they don't expect: your silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. Because silence forces reflection. And toxic people hate reflecting, it shows them a mirror they can't stand to look into. You're not punishing them by being quiet. You're preserving your energy. You're mastering restraint. They want you to lash out. To beg. To chase. To explode. But you give them none of that. You choose stillness. And in that stillness, you gain power. Remember, the lion doesn't roar when the hyena barks. It watches, and waits, and walks away with confidence. Be like that. Watch. Wait. Walk away. Because the true mark of emotional maturity isn't how loud you get. It's how calm you remain. And the more calm you are, the more chaos will avoid you. Not because it respects you, but because it can't touch you anymore. You're becoming untouchable. Because you've mastered the one thing that scares toxic people the most: peace. So today, don't argue. Don't explain. Don't shrink. Just smile. Stand tall. And remember who you are. Because once you do this, they never get to control your peace again. Some people will try to gaslight you into questioning your progress. They'll say you've changed like it's a crime, like evolving is betrayal. But the truth is, growth is supposed to make you unrecognizable to people committed to your old version. Cutting them off was never the hard part. The real challenge was rebuilding yourself in the silence that followed. You see, when toxic voices disappear, it gets quiet. But in that quiet, something else shows up. Doubt. Fear. Memories. Temptation to go back, just for peace, just for company, just for a familiar chaos. Scene fades into someone standing alone at sunrise. But don't mistake loneliness for weakness. That space is where your new life begins. Where the old version of you finally dies, and the real you starts breathing. Let them call you heartless. Let them say you've changed. They never understood what it cost you to stay calm in rooms that were killing your spirit. You didn't walk away because you were cold. You walked away because you were finally warm enough to stop begging for someone else's fire. Now, it's time to build. A life without chaos. A life where peace isn't a temporary escape, but a permanent address. Start with your mornings. No more waking up and checking your phone to see who's still mad at you. No more over-explaining, over-apologizing, over-functioning. You are not a rehab center for broken people. You are not a canvas for someone else's pain. You're the painter now. Pick the colors. Build the masterpiece. And if they can't handle your light, hand them sunglasses or let them leave. The version of you that was addicted to fixing others. Gone. The version of you that stayed quiet to keep the peace. Buried. You're no longer tolerating people who only show up when they need something. Your energy is a currency, and you're done giving out free loans. Here's what healing really looks like. You stop chasing people who walked away. You stop overthinking texts that never came. You stop shrinking just to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. You'll notice something beautiful happens when you truly heal. Your silence becomes golden. Your standards rise without warning. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. People from your past may circle back. They'll say, "You've changed." Smile and say, "Thank you." Because growth doesn't apologize. Healing doesn't wait for permission. And you didn't come this far just to go back. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going. When you stop giving unearned access, you stop bleeding peace. You are not difficult. You are not too much. You are not crazy. You're just finally setting boundaries they can't manipulate. You don't need an audience for your healing. You don't need applause for your peace. You don't need permission to evolve. This next season of your life will confuse a lot of people. They'll wonder why you're quieter. Why you don't react. Why you've stopped showing up for the drama you used to carry on your back. That's okay. They'll call it arrogance. But you'll know, it's ascension. You didn't become cold, you became clear. You didn't become distant, you became focused. You didn't stop caring, you just stopped carrying everyone's weight but your own. This is what happens when you finally reclaim your energy. You speak less. You smile more. You move with purpose. Let them gossip. Let them guess. Let them grieve the version of you they used to manipulate. Because you've outgrown the war. You've outgrown the noise. You've outgrown their grip. You were never born to be a prisoner of opinions. You were born to break cycles. To lead with peace. To walk in power. This is your silent rise. Let the world adjust.